night. I'm your host today, and for the Music Jeopardy, we have two musicians, MC 25 Cents, Jimmy Chong, and Zephyr. What's up, homie?
Hey.
Because you were the winner of last time, you star MC, choose your first question. Protest for 100. Give an example of an artist who protests in music nowadays. Yeah, my boy Kendrick has changed rap with his song since he doesn't talk about materialistic stuff but what really happens in the hood and what really happens, the struggle we live. And the song that I think that best represents that is Blacker the Berry in his album Pimp to a Butterfly, and when he sings everything black, I don't want black. Everything black, I ain't need black. Some white, some black, I ain't mean black. I want everything black, everything black. When all things black, I don't need black. When everything black, don't need black. Our eyes ain't black, I own black, own everything black. So when he sings that, he's clearly talking about how how the struggles African Americans live in the American society and all around the world, especially by wanting and deserving more than what they get because they don't have the resources that white people have. So in this song, he clearly protests about that. And choose the question. Because I got that one right, protest for 500. What is the main difference between music genres approach in protest?
So I think two bands that have this difference in their approach in protest are obviously Bob Dylan and Rage Against the Machine. So Bob Dylan in his song Times Are Changing, he sings, "Come riders and critics who prophesize with your pen." And I think it's an obvious reference to journalists that don't do their role in society. They just say fake things to elude people in the system. And I think that he urges them to be real journalists and say what is really happening and don't elude people because they have the true power of society. And the other songs were from Rage Against the Machine. There is Freedom and Killing in a Name. Freedom, he sings, "With poetry, I paint the pictures that hit more like the morals that fit." And in Killing in the Name, he says, "Fuck you, I won't do what they tell me." Which I think are really violent approaches to protesting by Zach De La Rocha, which is the singer of their band. And I think he urges people to question freedom. Are we free? And that it's the main point of it. And so I think they differentiate between each other by having their different approach, as Bob Dylan has a more poetical and pacifist approach, while Zach De La Rocha and Rage Against the Machine have more violent and more repressed approach to them, to their songs. Both are really impactful in their ways.
Now you, Zephyr, choose the question.
So, music for 400.
What do you think Uncle Tupelo meant with "I am a coal miner and I'm sure I wish you well. Let's sink this capitalist system to the darkest pits of hell" in the song Coal Miners?
Yeah, man. In this hyperbole, Uncle Tupelo, he condemns the capitalist system by saying he wants to send them to the darkest pits of hell. And you know, man, that shows his opinion on this system that, you know, is just against these coal miners and how what they believe in is completely counter-capitalist, that they're against how, you know, coal miners suffer in this system, and And you know, man, that is all wrong, man. We need a better world to live in, man. That's all wrong.
Choose Jefferson, choose the question.
Money for 500.
Do you think that money can make social isolation? For sure, I actually think money is the main point. Everything is a product of money. And we can clearly see that in the huge metropolis we have, like São Paulo, New York, Tokyo. When there are different places for different types of people divided by money and culture. I was born and raised in Compton. My G is hard in the streets. And when growing up, I could clearly see that how money causes this social division. And a song that I always listen to is Paper Trails by Joey Perez, especially when he sings. But it's still planting plantations, we keep buying it, closed-minded man, pride is higher than the prices of your Pradas and Balenciagas. It shows the social isolation between poor and rich. Even though plantations are gone, a vast amount of the black community are still slaves to the blue-collar workers trying to buy the newest clothes or shoes from the Prada and Balenciagas fashion. So, Jimmy Chong, now you choose the question.
So upperclassman for 100.
What is the name of people who work as CEOs and president of large companies?
Man, those are white-collar jobs, man. You know, like Steve Jobs, man, Bill Gates. Man, those guys, man, they make more money in one day than I do in a whole lifetime, you know, man. And it's so hard, and these jobs, man, being CEOs, is skilled labor, man. I was never be able to work on something, man, you know. Man, but yeah.
Jimmy Chong, choose the question.
Lower class for 100.
What are people who work in jobs such as coal miners and factory workers?
Their name is blue-collar workers. They're majorly unskilled labor people that occupy these jobs because they don't really require any previous experience or expertise. So I think these people are really well depicted in Uptown Sinclair's book, The Jungle, where he narrates about the story of the lifestyle of these people that work in factories in Chicago in the early 20th century. Also, my departed friend John Lennon sings about them in his song, A Working Class Hero, where he really protests and talks about how these blue-collar workers are really who sustains the comfortable life of rich people. And so I think it's really nice how he makes that difference between white collar and blue collar and how they interact with each other to form the society we live in today.
MC, choose the question. Who's for 500? What does jiggy shit mean? That's the way me and my homies talk in the hood when referring to something that is messed up. Like these homies t-shirt, man. Look at these. This some jiggy shit, man. Do you feel me, man? Yeah, I feel you, man. I got you. And that's some crossover effect. Are you really trying to talk like me, man? Actually, that's some jiggy shit. Yes, I understand you, son. MC. And protest for 400. Does a protest leader need to have money or education to be a good speaker?
Money doesn't bring anything, man, you know? Man, what is important is what you have in here and what in here, man. Nothing else. Money doesn't make you better than anyone. I'm not part of the upper class, I'm not part of the lower class. I'm like right in the middle, man. Money doesn't bring anything, man. It's all good, you know, man.
Man, are you kidding me, man? All I need is money and big woman, man. Do you feel me? Good night, and see you next time.